Welcome back, everyone. It's Jason with your Hopium Free Crypto channel. Well, we're here live because Bitcoin's obviously crashing. We've gone under 30,000 US dollars, and it looks like we are just holding up. Maybe we're too premature. That's probably the problem for a lot of us here. But if we look closer and we take some time and some patience, maybe we will just get there. We are looking for a price of 28,600. So we're about $1,000 off the major low at the moment. So we've got a few hundred people here already. Make sure you've hit the like button, push this thing in the algorithm, and let's check out some other cryptocurrencies, whatever else is dropping. Thanks everyone who's joining from anywhere around the world. I see a lot of you guys from the UK, 4:30 a.m. For us, I was praying for a nice late Bitcoin crash. It was looking like it was going to come last night, but didn't happen. Fortunately, it is now a beautiful 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon here, and we could go all day if we wanted to, but ideally it would be nice to get outside into this beautiful winter sunlight. So let's hope the Bitcoin crashes nice and hard, super quick. We dollar cost average in, we buy our Bitcoin, and then we get on with the rest of the day. Up the road in Brizzy, Sydney. Anyone from the US still up? It's not that late, is it? No. Well, I mean, it's getting closer to midnight for some of the East Coast. Bangkok, excellent. Questions about buying. So if you've been following, I've put out a couple of videos or several videos lately. Fear and Greed Plan, improvisation, I think someone had here. The super cycle's taken an interesting turn. I agree. I don't know. I like it. I was never one for a super cycle. I said that from the very beginning. I thought it was a great term to use in titles and SEO. It just sounds great. A super cycle is coming. Let's all get sucked into a super cycle. You know what it was last bull market, 2017? It was an S curve. An S curve was the big news, meaning the market would never go down again. Let me see if I can do it from your view. I got to go this way across. No, this way. S curve, start down. You rise up really fast, and then you go sideways, and then you go up again. That was what was trying to keep people in the market. It was saying that, well, Bitcoin's up now. It's never going down, but we have some time to cool off. It might go sideways. This whole super cycle thing is the exact same thing. It's BS. Who came up with it? It's BS. I'm just having a real dig here because that essentially sort of gets you into this mindset that you could hold on. It's the same thing as saying a $300,000 Bitcoin by September, or someone posted on Twitter today, an $85,000 Ethereum by whatever date. Like it's absolute nonsense, ridiculousness. It does get the clicks. It does bring the new people in with lots of hope, and you know what we're about here. We're not about the hopium. So at the moment, we're down about 28%, which is what I had on the thumbnail. 28% from the peak that we had back in June. Let's get that date. Yeah, it was around the 15th or so of June. We peaked out at about 41,300. So we're a good 28% down from that point. That was my tweet. So BitBoy put out a post saying, oh, Bitcoin's the strongest. It's just absolute wanky bullshit. BS. I don't want to get demonetized here. But in Australia, that wouldn't be demonetizing. Anyway, absolute BS posts about Bitcoin all rally around this thing. It's amazing. And I just put a little tweet saying, this is, you've jinxed the market. We're going down from this point. I held myself on that. So if YouTube comes after me and demonetizes stuff, we have to replay that. Thank you for the super chats. You guys don't have to super chat anything. If I get to the comments, we get to the comments. Otherwise, just enjoy the ride. Zia says, it's my friend here, Zia. I hope this is the capitulation we need. It's holding at 29,500 from LA. Thanks, Zia. I would have to say that is true. I personally jinxed it. I'll leave this one up. Subscribe to Comment Live. If you guys haven't already, make sure you've hit subscribe so that you can comment in the feed here. It's another little metric it's another feature that I can put in using YouTube so that we can hopefully keep some of the scammers out, keep those scammers away, posting about all their hex and whatever other thing they're going on about. Dump already stopped. Quite possibly, hey? We're all getting premature on this one. Poor people in Sydney. Nearly going to use the B word there. Everyone's locked down in Sydney. Where else are you locked down? All the government FUD. I mean, look, government FUD is going to be government FUD. We'll get that in the bear market. We'll get that in the bull market. Probably they'll keep coming up with more stuff around regulation, regulating stable coins. I was watching something on that this morning. So if we get that, then that'll really scare the market, because I guess a lot of people see the market being held up by stable coins. That is really where we trade in and out of. We don't necessarily go cryptocurrency to fiat all the time. So stable coins are a pretty big one. Am I the savior of the market? Definitely not. Definitely not. I am not any sort of savior for this thing. All right, let's have a little flick over to the chart. Bitcoin. So who is still buying altcoins in this sort of market? I posted that no, not that far. Come on. I posted that on Twitter just before. If you aren't following on Twitter, make sure you're following. Make sure you've liked the video up. Helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. And you subscribe so that you can comment in the side here, okay? You guys are buying. What are you buying in this market? I don't understand why people are buying altcoins. And it was the poll I did was about 60% of people were buying altcoins, 40% weren't. We have been on a solid downtrend since these tops. This was pretty much the peak of altcoins. There's the peak. And then altcoins have basically been down. Some of the minor exceptions, but even still. So we peaked in May this is Cardano Bitcoin, and now we're down. I have mentioned that I was or am buying some, Ethereum, but I've still been holding off on that. The altcoins, stablecoins, and ETH, but even ETH, and again, I guess I don't really consider Ethereum an altcoin anymore. That's probably why I wasn't thinking of it. But anything else, I would just be staying the hell away from. So that's not too bad. Ethereum and ADA, so ETH and ADA are about 30% down on their BTC values, which of course puts them a lot further down on their US dollar value. We are down about 60% in the dollar sense. ADA. But a lot of these other coins, which are still being touted and talked up about buying the dip. Link was another one. I have not been buying Link. Nothing against any of these projects. So if you come in late, nothing against the projects. You just have to look at the chart. Link USD has just been down, down, down. Link ETH has been down, 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 down. Even this bull market, this was the kind of the start of everyone coming into it in December, January. There's January. There's the peak of it. Oh, there's the peak of it actually. May, it was down. So Link didn't do anything in this bull market. It's just been down the whole time. Link BTC has been down as well. January, we got a little run up against Bitcoin because, why not? It's a bull market. But then from May, those tops in May, it's just been down, down, down. And I said I would probably be selling out of some of my Link if we started to break down from here. And we have. The downside to that, the risk is that we only break this line a little bit and then come back above, right? So it has broken it before and then bounced back above, broken it through this section here, then come back above, broken it here, come back above. But each time it got a new highs, but it didn't break down underneath. It broke down, but then got a new high, broke down, semi sort of high, broke down, new high, and we had a new high. But this time we bounced off it and we didn't get a new high. And now we're back underneath. So if Bitcoin regains strength, I would assume that Link will continue further down. So it's nothing against the project. It's just, where is my money going to be better suited? And right now, I don't think it's going to be in altcoins. And this goes, I was creating a video actually before this whole market went absolutely nuts. I was creating a video on the problems or the stuff that we can see when it comes to the second stage of a bull market. And cryptos that have already been out generally do not regain their Bitcoin value. So I was in the middle of creating this video. I'll create this and put it out tomorrow instead. But you've got the high in June of 2017 and then the next high. So this is ETH versus Bitcoin. Ethereum did not recover to its same high that it did during the first stage of the 2017 bull market. And we're seeing that again now. So if this happens to be the major high that we get for Ethereum, this is probably one of my only bets that I think will go higher, because I think Ethereum is going to overtake Bitcoin at some point next year, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know. But that's the one bet I've got. But stuff, oh, sorry, you probably can't see that. Let's go. Ethereum. ETH. All right. So that's the bull market high. That's the secondary high, but it went higher on its USD value, but it doesn't matter because it lost value to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was the better return during the second stage of the 2017 bull market. Now we're seeing the first stage of the, call it the 2021 bull market. We want to get above this high to break this pattern of lower highs. I have a bet on Ethereum that it should, but pretty much every other cryptocurrency cannot do it. There is an exception, and the exception, strangely enough, has been Dogecoin. This was its mid-cycle top. It broke lower, and then it never got there again for the rest of that period. But then Dogecoin went absolutely nuts and broke absolutely everything. I don't suspect Doge will get above this high again if Bitcoin goes up again. Stranger things have happened, but that's pretty much the pattern for a lot of these altcoins. VET, destroyed. What else? Is it going to get above this high again? Most of this would tell you no, which would mean that my money is better off in Bitcoin, or I could buy a low that comes in, something like this, and then ride it up. Maybe it comes all the way down and then only rides up to about these levels. So you only want to be buying it here and then absolutely getting the hell out of it at those points. But of course, we've got to just keep tracking the market. Don't know when this low is going to come in. Don't know when the high is going to come in, but it will start to give us signals. Nearly 2,000 online. Tonight's news was scary. Annie Rose, when you say if Bitcoin goes up again, are you talking long-term or short-term? No, I'm talking about the BTC value of your altcoins. It's been a major subject that I've discussed on the channel for probably 2 to 3 months now. I look at that during the bull market stage, but generally most things are moving up in the bull market against Bitcoin value. That's what you want. Say like VET was moving up against its Bitcoin value, but usually in the second stage, it won't get as high because Bitcoin will have to rise again, which will then force the altcoin versus Bitcoin value down. And so even if this is to fall and then come back up, it's not going to get back to these levels. And most retail has bought at these highs, and maybe the market only gets back up to these levels of 200 sats, 250 sats. The dollar value will be huge because Bitcoin will be heaps higher. But you would have been better off just buying Bitcoin instead of these altcoins. So you need to get something. So what the solution, I guess, here is, we need to be looking for altcoins which are new onto the market or are released during a bear market. And Link proves that to us. That's only one example, but we've seen it quite a few more times as well. ADA was kind of like that, not exactly. Say Matic. Matic came out during a bear market and then took off. Look at Matic go down. Matic getting crushed. It's broken beneath its May bottom. This was that 200% rally, and now it's broken beneath that. I've still got my levels way down here. You can see my alerts that I've been setting. I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting. So even if Matic comes down, I don't suspect we're going to see this all-time high again, this 6,500 Satoshis or 6,600 sats. I would think it'll eventually come out to somewhere here or lower, right? And then maybe bounce up again to something like that. But this obviously doesn't go straight down and then straight there. Could, but generally, they do this and then that and then that, and then like a little while later, maybe they'll start to climb again. Bitcoin. Come on, do we hold the market up? 29,600. Yeah, it's just not wanting to do it. And because I'm feeling extra fun today, I'll put on the candles, the colorful candles, which no one understands. They're red and they're green because they just are. 2,000 online. Nice. Make sure you've liked, subscribed, so you can comment on the view over here. If you want to comment, make sure you've subscribed. This is a falling knife. Don't buy for now. Subscribe to comment. Cool. And there's also a free newsletter. If you want to drop your email address, name down below, link is down there. Free newsletter, crypto, investing in stocks, crypto, and real estate. We're looking at the real estate cycle. Some of the people have never heard about the 18.6 year cycle, which helps us determine tops and bottoms in markets. And I've been directing them to a book back here called The Secret Life of Real Estate and Banking. Thank you for your comments on Twitter and on Instagram from guys who have read the book, photographed it, sent it on stories, and started to reshare it. If you can get more of that education and that content out, you'll do so much better in the markets. It's a really good book. You can get it off Amazon. Get it yourselves. Don't worry about affiliate links. It's just an Aussie economist that wrote it. Never spoken to him except on emails, so not person yet, but I want to talk to him. Fantastic book. I've been following it for about 12 years, and it's been dead on every time. Bitcoin, we got a little bit excited, didn't we? 29,500. So it did break that low. We have a new low. Our previous low was 29,600, set back in June 22 or 23. Yeah, just on June 22. And now we've just gone a touch beneath it. Hope we get a nice big scare going. It still doesn't want to do it that fast, does it? Look how much smaller this is compared to what we saw in June 22 and then also what we saw on May 19th. Once we got that move on, we just started moving, didn't we? Down, we tested it and we came back up, and then the next hour it was all on. So that next hour we had a 12% down, but from the high to the low we had about 17% just in that hour. $29.6. Let's have a look at ADA while we wait for that. Do you think we'll get a sub dollar? Oh, have we seen a sub dollar ADA? No, $1.05. But you have to think now we would see something under $1. And the volume is nowhere near these either. Sub $1 ADA. Sub $1 ADA. We're going to get there. Please review support levels. 28. We've just broken through. Oh, hold on. All right, you're saying 28.6. Maybe I was looking at 29.5. I must have been. Yeah, gotcha. 28.6. Well done. I was getting way too ahead of myself. Too excited. 28.6. All right, so let's set another alert to break to go off as we break down past 29,500. For a bit of added fun, we can go 15-minute chart. be desperate, isn't it? 22. Is this slow dump worse for the market than a quicker dump? And good question. Personally, I like to see quick dumps. Like I like to see it happen. Doesn't mean that it won't happen, say, the next hour, because we're only kind of 2 hours into this. We're 2 hours into it right now. Previous times, 22nd was one of the majors. Say we had 2 hours and then a bounce. We had this little one here, which thought the market was over, but that's only, again, 2.5, 3 hours. Let's go back to the 19th of May, which was a major. So 19th of May started off with a few bars breaking down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we held out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, held us up, 1, 2, 3 up, held us up, 1, 2, 3 hours down, and then into our fourth hour down, we got that big spike low down to 30,000. So I'm on Bitstamp here. So that was a solid one. Took a few hours. Recovery, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and a bit, 4 to 5 hours recovery. So maybe we still have another hour left in it until we potentially see a big correction, a big crash correction. You know, we're still in a bull market. It's called a correction. If we're in the bear market, we call it a dump. And then we call it a rally on the way back up. Here's a crash from April. This was a big one. This kind of started from around that point. So the 9 a.m. bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, slight recovery, and then a higher low. And that held the market up for a little while. Then we got the final one into the 23rd. That lasted some time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16. Solid 3 hours there into the 13th. So good question. Price predictions for Link. My current price prediction is Link will go down. I'm not looking for an exact price because no one can give that exactly. You want to understand, are we in a bearish market overall or a bullish market overall? I don't think anyone's going to disagree here that we're in a bearish market overall. If you are disagreeing, let us know why. So then I look for Link price prediction. I look for support and resistance levels. Right now, support, Link USD, which I would probably more, like I've just talked about earlier, I'd be looking more at the BTC chart because I can't really see this thing holding up. It's just broken through. Ideally, you want to see it come back above or at least hug that line again for it to be bullish. But if you have to go back to the USD, because I know that's what everyone looks at, then you definitely want to see it hold up at around that $10, $11, $12. At worst, around $9. So $9 to $12. And then the upside target is ideally somewhere past the all-time high, $52. And then we'll continue to track it using some fibs. But we've got to see where a low is put in first that we can calculate the next move up. So just using this range, I've got a target of $88 and 100 and call it 108, sorry. That doesn't mean that it's going to be a good investment because it could continue to bleed out against BTC value while Bitcoin goes up. Or it could remain stable. So if you aren't looking at cryptocurrencies on their BTC pair, make sure you do that during this bear market. That will save you a lot of money and a lot of time because it could just stop you from investing in a whole lot of dumb stuff that takes time and doesn't actually make you a good return. So make sure you look at the altcoin BTC pair. Don't be a noob. or don't make the same mistake twice. Going around watching people that are just raving on about dollar cost averaging into any sort of, I don't know, coin that pumps. Check it on the BTC chart, and you can trade them in and out to make more BTC, but eventually everything dumps against BTC. And I know the Hex Army will say not Hex, but eventually it all happens. I have to put it up. Thanks, Omar. Will 21st event pump BTC? I generally follow the charts, and so if the chart is looking bearish, if the event lines up with whatever this 21st event is, great, and then I'll know about it. Is that just another GBTC unlocking? Whales are buying. I know that's pretty much the comment on a lot of the streams. It's like whales are buying here, and we'll circle some areas and look, they're doing it right now. And it's like, well, if you just learn how to read a chart, and I'm by no means an absolute gun pro trader. I'm saying most people could do this if they just put the time in and just review support and resistance, some volume, and some major, say, flipping areas, like where it goes from sort of bearish to bullish. Some people use moving averages. I prefer to use 50% zones on a fib or on a GAN range resistance card. Essentially, you're just going to put it top to bottom, look where halfway point is, and the market generally comes back to a 50% point. So everyone's saying this whales are buying, like they're just trying to go to all these different news metrics, which I just think are super confusing for most people. There's no consistency in that train of thought, and there's no consistency in some sort of plan in order to build your investment portfolio. Simon, how many billions, trillions could we realistically see poured into the crypto market? I honestly have no idea. I couldn't tell you. Like, where would it come from? I mean, who would have expected a market cap of 2.5 trillion at a peak now? And what metrics would they have used to get to that point? That's probably the way I would then look to answer that question. Our peak last time was call it around 800 billion. And then we got to about that 2.5, 2.6 trillion this time. So it's just a bit over 3 times. Do we do that again? Maybe do we do half that? Do we go to 5 trillion this time? And so we drop to like a 1 trillion market cap. Let me look for the total here. Do we drop down to a 1 trillion market cap before we start to consolidate, and then just make it up to a 5 trillion market cap after this? So his previous top was around 740, 750. Okay, it was a little bit less than I thought. I thought around 800, but yeah, around that 750 whatever billion, 760 billion. Are you going to spend your Bitcoin? If you're talking about spend it like to buy stuff, not at this stage. If you're talking about buy altcoins, yes, eventually, because the purpose of the plan is to buy Bitcoin first, while it's dropping, or at some lows when it starts to recover Bitcoin, and then when we start to see altcoins bottom or start to recover, then we can throw some of that Bitcoin at it, because we've just been buying Bitcoin, so we've been piling up all this BTC. Now we can go to try and make more of it. That's the game that I play. Other people have a different game that they play. LTC is a very easy one. LTC is garbage. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I could make you feel all happy and fluffy and stuff like that, but LTC is absolute garbage. LTC, BTC. Rubbish, 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 rubbish. And that's not just my opinion. I'll throw that one on so there's not too many words. If that's an investment to you, good luck. It's literally just throwing money away. Literally just throwing money away. Of course, at any time. I thought maybe I put a video in January. I thought this thing could really blow up because it's done it in the past. Blow up, but eventually will crash. So every time in those sort of videos, I said this could blow up and we could really triple our Bitcoin value, but we have to sell out. I'll talk about me because obviously it's not financial advice. I have to sell out. I have to sell whatever it is I'm holding of Litecoin, because you can see the tops that come in, and then it just continues down. Eventually, this will get some sort of push, right? It's some sort of break. Look, it could keep going down this really narrow trend and then break down to the downside. Look at that. Maybe eventually get this pump. It's a 500 pump. Like, that's a good pump to get on, to get 6 times your Bitcoin from the bottom to the top. But maybe you don't get it from the bottom to the top. That's fine. Get it on some sort of breakout. There's a breakout of resistance. Okay, I'll buy it here. I'll sell as it gets to some other resistance here. Cool. I made 200%, so 3 times my Bitcoin. Great. You don't need to get the whole thing. Everyone wants to buy the bottom and sell the exact top. I wouldn't even bother. But Litecoin, look, it was released and it went down. It's gone down for, is that 8 years? It is down 8 years. I don't mind crapping all over Litecoin because it's talked up so much from new retail or even influencers online. You just literally have to open up one chart. Just do 60 seconds of work. You don't even need to be experienced. You can just see that is a downtrend. Is a downtrend. Doesn't ever mean it'll get back to these highs. That's not true. It doesn't mean it'll ever get back to those highs. All right, so that's your Litecoin. Sorry to well, I'm not really sorry. If you don't believe in dollar cost averaging, then why go on George's channel? Well, we don't talk about dollar cost averaging when I go on George's channel. Maybe we should. And I do believe in dollar cost averaging in on projects which have proven to be strong long term. But at the end of the day, retail wants to know about garbage altcoins all the time because they're just new. They feel like they've missed out on Bitcoin and they want to jump in on something that they can hopefully get bigger gains than Bitcoin. And, that's kind of where it all begins from. Trading them is good, but not buying and holding them long term, thinking that they'll get to a Bitcoin value. So maybe we should go on and talk about dollar cost averaging in on altcoins during a decline. You let me know. 2,600 of you online. Fantastic. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe so that you can comment into the chat here. So I had the chart up kind of small, but you can still get the picture. It's just a downtrend, absolute downtrend. Am I picking up Bitcoin today? Let me get this chart again. I'll make it bigger this time so you can actually see it. 21,600. Look, I'm still in the view that it's there's still this level here. It looks like it wants to break through that. So something in here. I'm not saying it has to get to 18K. And I sort of pronounce those words very strongly because a lot of people, even though I do that, a lot of people still say, he said it's an 18K Bitcoin. No. And so I hope some other people will respond to that and say, fool, listen, don't just take what you want to hear. There's a big gap here of not much trading going on. You can see the market quickly ran up into that top of around 40, 41 or 42K. And then it had a reverse and it found some support for whatever reason at $28,000. So if we break through that, I suspect we got to come into this level of between 18, 19, 20K, and then that bottom of around 28K. So something in here. And the only other trading that happened in here was about, a little resistance and a stop was around 23K. We can see that on a daily chart. I'll get rid of these terribly drawn lines. All right, so the other little area is this here. I don't know whether the market will be able to hold up there or here at 26. So that's why I wait and see what the reaction is, knowing full well the risk that I take is that it could spike into those levels and I not buy, and then it's jump back out and start to form a base at 26 or 27 or 28K, right? But I take that risk of not buying not buying that low because it could go further. Maybe it goes to 19 or 18. Maybe it goes to 12 or 13. I don't know. So I wait to see what happens next. I want to scope out to see how it responds to the market condition. But so that's the way I play it, because I've been trading for 11 or so years using Gann analysis and Wyckoff analysis as well. I have put together the dollar cost averaging plan, just looking at the fear and greed index for people who want to at least learn to start dollar cost averaging with a purpose, not just on any dip. That's generally what's thrown out over there. You'll see it across everywhere. Are you buying the dip? Are you buying this dip? Are you buying that dip? Sure, I've even probably said it heaps of times too, but then I reference back to say like a fear and greed, or I look for a Wyckoff entry or a Gann entry, something like that. We had these lows bounce in. Okay, maybe they're not a bad time, because you never know if the market will continue to drop further and take out these lows of 29 grand. You just don't know. Remember this here? Everyone was calling for like a 42K, 46K Bitcoin back in mid-June. As it started to rise and we took this high out, it was like, are we going that way? Are we going to 46? And at that time, people will start to buy in on the hope that it will go higher. So buying at these lows at 30 or 29 or 34 or whatever it was through these periods sort of settles your nerves so that you're not left caught buying higher prices, thinking that it's going to break out even further. That's kind of how a dollar cost averaging plan, I think, should work. So it just sort of settles it. We get a little bit just in case we go up. If it goes down, at least we bought based on specific rules. I hope that makes sense, and why I am or am not picking up Bitcoin on certain days. A Wyckoff manipulation? This may be a Wyckoff redistribution. Do you remember for the last month and a half, people have been saying, look at this pattern. It's exactly like the Wyckoff reaccumulation. No, I mean, they've literally just looked at something online and just gone, yeah, this is exactly what it is, and tried to map it out to be the exact same thing. It doesn't mean that's what it is. It could be a redistribution zone. So we've sold out at the 60s and then we sell out again in the 30s. And the whales are just trying to hold the price up long enough to get rid of enough Bitcoin and then let it drop, see how far it drops, see what's left in the tank, and then start to reaccumulate at those prices. So you don't know until you get the breakout. So trying to call it, trying to call the market like here when all you've seen is that zone, a reaccumulation, is I think it's a fool's game, because it gets you blindsided thinking, oh, every bottom that I buy is a fantastic buy. It's like, no, it could be a good buy. You don't know. But you want to take precautions and then know what your downside risk is. Your downside risk is anywhere from that 30K to whatever you believe a realistic low would be. And I think a realistic low is anywhere between 12 to about 20K. Like, as far as I would want to see this thing crash. Because I think below that, then there's something fundamentally wrong with Bitcoin. I think. All right. I'm looking at it thinking, why would it go anywhere beneath this level? This was a really, really strong setup. So if it breaks a really strong setup and then doesn't quickly bounce out of it again, I have to really question what the hell's going on. I'm not saying it's going to get there. I'm just saying like where my level is, where I would say, all right, let's sell the house somewhere in here. But if it gets to here and breaks these lows, then you probably want to reconsider what your investment strategy is. But I think even just the talk about that, I can't see it getting back to these sort of levels. I couldn't see it getting back to 20 whatever, here we are. Stranger things have happened. I know that doesn't really give too much confidence in anything here, but at least you just got to know what your risks are and what you're prepared to take. And trying to fill people with the hopium of don't worry, it'll never happen. I think that's a fool's game. I don't want to ever say that, which is why I sort of leave it open. Thanks for the super chat. You guys, as I mentioned earlier, you don't have to super chat. We'll get to some questions as well. Essentially, I just wanted to look at the market falling, see if we got anything further going on here. And then I specifically wanted to focus on altcoins against the Bitcoin value, like explaining why now is not the most fantastic time to be purchasing altcoins. You do what you got to do. I'm not stopping you from doing it. I'm just explaining what I've seen on the chart for many cycles and just the way I do it, because I don't want to be buying stuff that is really heavily falling. Trying to protect the capital that I've got. Okay. 21st event, Elon Musk, Cathy Wood, Jack Dorsey meeting on the B word. Interesting. All right. A couple of days from now, I guess, for the US time zone. ADA. I can say something about ADA. I've got a staking pool. You can definitely stake your Cardano ADA with the staking pool down below. Link is there. We had Cardano Foundation drop 14.4 million ADA into the pool. Thank you very much to those guys. And so that bolsters the rewards. So we got, I think we did 12 or 16 blocks in the last one. And then the next one it should bounce that up again. So that'll start to come through a lot more on in the staking pool. I saw a super chat. Mark, thank you. Would this be a situation you would buy alts to sell into Bitcoin? Been holding exclusively Bitcoin, but the SAT value dropped a lot this week. When would you make the trade to try to get more Bitcoin? I wouldn't be buying altcoins to sell into Bitcoin. I don't really understand that. But like I've mentioned a few times before, I'm waiting for a bottom on Bitcoin. It could drop and come back above. Maybe we don't see a bottom form decisively until it's above like above like $36,000. I don't know. But at that point, I think we'll probably start to see some sort of bottoming pattern on altcoins, and then we'll start to see them hopefully break some of their highs that they've made at bottoms. For example, let's look at ETH. Oh, that's not the right ETH. So you see the market just keep falling and falling and falling. You get this bottom pattern put in, and then there's a bottom, and then it starts to break the highs and break out. And then it comes back down. It breaks out of those highs again. That was COVID. And then it comes back up. Look at all those highs across there. And we get a nice breakout on nice volume. All right. So I'll be looking at something like that sort of pattern. It's not going to be exactly like that, but this is a typical Wyckoff accumulation pattern. This took 2 years, 2 years, not saying that it has to happen this time, because we've had a big accumulation zone. Now, if this is all we get, that's all we get. I find it a bit hard to fathom that that's all we would get from a 2 year accumulation or 2 or 3 year accumulation, especially with all of that volume. And then all of a sudden, that's all we got was this pump to here and that. Thanks, guys. 2,700 people online. If you haven't already, make sure you've subscribed, like the video up, like the stream. We'll keep going live as the market unfolds. It's just for a bit of fun and answering your questions as well. Twitter, if you want to know more on a regular basis, go and follow me over on Twitter. And the links are all down below. Instagram, daily Q&As. I'm answering your questions there. I have been today as well, answering your questions. Let's get it back to the hourly chart. And of course, the free newsletter. Free newsletter is down below. Just email address, name, free newsletter once a week. Crypto, investing, real estate. That's what we do. It's what we've been doing for 15 years. Bitcoin, we had the hourly close, and now we're 20 minutes into the new hour. 29,500. And that was on Binance. So I'll keep Binance because we've got the most volume here. Oop. Might even get rid of that. Nice. So on a weekly, on a macro time frame, not in the small stuff, this would be a good level, 29K, to hold it up. If not, then my next level is around this 23. I don't know exactly, like I mentioned earlier, but that's my 100%. This range projected from this high. It might not even get there. Maybe we only get halfway because it's already had a little bit of a bounce from that. It wasn't a clean, straight run down. So we are waiting. We are waiting to see what happens next. 29.6. I think we just break through the close yet? No. So let's see if we can get this thing to go red. The open is 29,600. So as soon as we break that, we go red. There we go. That's usually a weaker sign. You know, once we break through the open early on, let's do it. Then we have to get to this next low, which is at 29,552. Potentially. I guess I don't look. I focus on understanding the charts, and I spend my time learning more about the chart, to read the chart. The point with that is, if you can learn to read the chart, then you don't need to worry about the blockchain metric or this metric or that metric. It's good to know. Like I'm not completely dismissing it. It's just another form of analysis. So if you start to spread your time thin by trying to understand how that analysis works, technical analysis works, or fundamental analysis works, you just never get there, because like they all work in their own way, and you just won't get there because they all take a full-time commitment to do them. It's unfortunate that, you know, there's so much news out there now. You can learn from anything, and so you just have to pick something and go with it. And if I need to see the buys, I mean, what do you think? Like this gray button, this gray bar at the bottom is the volume. That's the volume for Binance. Here it is. We've had the most volume that we have seen since these lows in June, lows and highs in June. So we're just starting to get some of that volume back. You know, ideally we want to get to some sort of volume that we saw back in May. That was some real stopping volume. And then we took off for another month. You know, we never came back to that price. So right now, I don't think we've got enough buys that have actually been executed. You know, there can be buy orders that have happened, but you need them to be executed, because anyone can go in and put orders in and then take the orders out. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy millions of Bitcoin. And I'm going to take the order away and then put it back in and take it away. What was that? Journey and Bit will still find a way to say this is bullish, I guess. Money flow is getting big towards the red. See, we just went red. We went through that close. We went through the open. And then you'll see it start to pick up speed if we break last hour's low. I think I've missed out on the sunlight today. Looks like the clouds have come over. So we're just waiting now. And then the low is the next point, 29,552, and then 29,501. So we're about $70 off this low. Hopefully we see some speed pickup should we take out these lows. 60, 65, 64. I'll come back to your questions. I love these ones that are just so definite on how the market should work. That's not going to happen. I didn't see who XXX was. Bitcoin's going to zero. Sure. That's a good one to short. Shorting pesto paste. Too late. XRP thoughts. You guys don't mind if we go and slaughter some XRP? I'll put this one chart up. 1 week. I'll take all of this off. This is XRP. Ripple, as we knew it in 2017. It was called Ripple back then. 2015, dump. Because this was a bear market. This was all bear market, bear market, bear market. Then we got a Bitcoin bull market. Ripple absolutely killed it. Bear market, pretty much all the way back to the low. Then it took off again, never reached the previous high because Bitcoin's value was higher. Then it tried again, and then nothing. So that's all we have seen for XRP. It could be a good trade. I've always said it could be a very good trade. Will it get back to these highs? Probably not. That would imply that, let's call Bitcoin 30 grand at the moment. The price of XRP would have to be, it would be a $7. Is that right? $7 XRP at the current price. But if Bitcoin was at 60,000, that would mean it would be a $14 XRP. 14 if Bitcoin was doubled at 60 grand. But you generally expect Bitcoin to be at a higher value, bringing more money into the space. That just brings the strength and that brings the hope back to the market, essentially. So if we get there and Bitcoin's at 60 grand, then that would be like a 14. I don't feel like I've done those numbers right, but anyway, I'll run with that. It'd be like a $14 XRP. Is that 5 zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 800, 1700. And then if Bitcoin was at $120,000, then that would have to be a $28 XRP to be somewhere up at these levels at 23,000 Satoshis. So that's why it's not one that I'm that interested in. Maybe a trade, gets to 9,000, who knows? Still $60 off. We are waiting for 28.6 to be broken. Right here. I mean, thoughts on anything right now is that it's going down. That's my thoughts on it. Matic going down. Matic, it got wrecked. It had like 3 great days up where it did 200%. And if you didn't take that 3-day trade, then you're wrecked. You can see where the 3-day trade was. This is after that absolute all-time high, dump, and then a few days up, and then that was it. Matic has just been down, down, down. Like just literally any cryptocurrency you have, when you're saying thoughts on this, I'm just going to go here. Here's my chart of Matic. What would your thoughts on Matic be after seeing that? Thoughts on it here were, Matic could be going up, and it did for a little bit. Matic could be going up, and it did for a bit. Oh, this has got some good move in it. Nothing. Dump, 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 dump. How much further could it dump? Well, considering it's way up here, and the support level is somewhere around this point, you can see there's a bit of cluster. There's more of a cluster back here. And then we have all of this area down here. Well, Matic, 28%, 30% drop, maybe a 70% drop from the current price against its Bitcoin value. All right. Matic's down to 66 cents. It broke that low. Look at that. Crushed. So, yeah, maybe a 30, 40 cent Matic, something in there. Maybe it breaks that and comes down to these levels, but it's got to come back to some sort of support level, I think. And the volume's just well and truly out. See, this is looking like an XRP. Look how much that charged and then on the way down. So it could charge again, but if Bitcoin's up, then I don't expect it to get back to, here's a better chart. I don't expect it to get back to the old BTC all-time high, which means I have to be very careful buying altcoins because I could lose a lot of value. Say I buy them here, going altcoin hunting and buying the dips on all these altcoins here. They keep dropping. Don't worry, keep buying. I bought. All right, then they go up again. Wow, look at your altcoin that's gone up in value. It hasn't. Pretty much net even. But on the USD, you'll see that it's up higher because Bitcoin's obviously gone up. So you are safer just buying Bitcoin. Let's open BTC again. Look at Bitcoin dominance. Dominance is coming back. Just the goal here is to pass 49, 48. Yeah, I want to see it pass into 49%. People were saying, oh, this is not working. They give it a few days. Patience. I've been saying it for like 3 months now. Patience. We're still $70 off. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Just a little dunk. And then we recover. A little dunk in the market and then a recovery. That's what I'm hoping for, because that would be a quick end to the pain. Rip the Band-Aid off. The hourly, oh, we've gone up again. We broke through the open. But we're only on the hourly chart, remember. You can look at me. Look at me now. All right. CR. Oh, I just lost your comment. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, you can screenshot me rubbing my head. BSV. You are absolutely taking the piss from me. You have to be. I'm not going to fall for that. Cardano, I've got heaps of analysis on the channel, looking at best case scenarios, worst case scenarios, full TA, weekly, daily timeframes. I've got lots and lots on Cardano. The best, Jerry. I say it's the best. I'm not just giving you like some built-up Hopian thing. Check out the price ranges here. What if, these groups of prices go up and, we could do a 70% rise, anyway. Check out the scam comments. I don't see them at the moment. Thank you for the super chat. Do I believe in the 4-year cycle? If you're new and you want to comment, make sure you've subscribed to the channel. Subscribe. And obviously like the stream up. I believe there is a 4-year cycle, whether it's has to peak at the end of the 4th year. I don't think so. And I don't know if you guys know where that came from, but the first person I heard talking about that was Bob Lucas, Aussie guy that lives, I believe, in New York. And he talks about that and doesn't necessarily mean that we have to get the market running in this whole bear market for 3 years, bull market for 1 year type of scenario. He was looking at a left translated and a right translated thing where we could run up fast and then die out for a long time, or run up for a long time and then die out for a quick time. And then we have like another peak sooner rather than later, which would then cause a longer bear market. So I definitely believe there are cycles. And I don't even need to believe. It's science. It's just the way life is. There are cycles in everything that we do. So there are definitely cycles. 4 year is a good number. There are 4 year things, and I don't necessarily go on 5, 10 year sort of things. There are the 4, the 8s, 12s. It's sort of those good round numbers. That is true. Are you serious? BSV, come on, please. I explained for the last hour. Thank you for the super chats. I'm not trying to take the piss here, but I explained for the last hour. Maybe you're new here as well, but I explained for the last hour that any altcoin, just open up the altcoin BTC chart. Just because it's down doesn't mean that it has to do something later. That's a false way of thinking. There are plenty of assets which are down and never come back. Look, I could give you all the hopium in the world. Like I could just say, this is going to be great. This is a good thing, but that's not the way I see the market. And of course, you're just asking for my opinion. I don't even track BSV. It's been delisted from everything. It's a scam token. BSV scam. It's not even listed anywhere. I can look at them. It's not even. There's. I'm not going to waste my time anymore. It's garbage. There you go. You lost almost everything on Bitcoin. All your Bitcoin values is down the drain. Back to Bitcoin. We're nearly up at 29,700. So I'll say again, no thoughts. So if you are looking for a cryptocurrency, definitely check it out against its BTC value. OMI, check it out against its ETH value. Solana, check it out against its BTC value. It's actually been holding up reasonably well, but I think it's on its way. But it is one of the stronger ones. So take that into account when it's a stronger cryptocurrency during a bearish period, when the market starts to turn again. Those ones will probably perform better during the first stage. Anchor USD. Again, probably I wouldn't be getting into any of these altcoins. Maybe you can stop spamming it with Anchor. I don't know. Cardano. I've got a few videos on that. You guys can check it. Cardano, I'm looking at between, say, like 40 cents and $1. We're getting pretty close to that dollar point now. You could almost call it that we're on the dollar. And somewhere in that zone, because there's just not much trading there. But there will be some support levels on the way down between 40 cents and $1. We'll keep looking at them. Who's Dan G? Is that another joke that I've just missed out on? Trading psychology books. I mean, I've got a few GAN ones there. I'll just go and look up GAN books. They're pretty good. Very specific. Thanks for all the super chats, guys. You honestly don't have to. I'm just answering stuff that seems interesting. Look at that. Bring it on. Trading in the Zone. That's that Mark Douglas book, I think. It's all going. I know everything's on the way down. Let's have a look. Everything, 1 hour chart. Look at it. Just rise a little. come on, we were hoping for this 28K crash. I guess we're gonna have to go live again at some point. Man, I say don't super chat, and all you guys are going nuts on super chats. I feel bad if I can't get to some of these. Me too. I'm waiting on it. Isaac, thank you for the super chat. What are the new technologies in DeFi that are that are will offer real utility in the crypto community? For example, staking derivatives, DeFi, any other DeFi tech to watch out for? Honestly, I don't know. I will trade them because the way I like to look at the market is things go crazy, and I don't think there's any real point in the fundamentals while they're going super crazy. There is to a degree where you say, all right, this is going to have great pumponomics. It's going to pump because the community is going off with it. The marketing's good. Uh, Everything looks really cool about it. But come the bear market, that's when I'll start to do the research because I've got time to do it. Everything's not hyped up. The prices are down. And then you can really start to see what will stick and where the trends will move from that point. So any new technologies in DeFi, who knows? Who knows? There will be plenty of people that will tell you there is a lot of utility coming and there's more technologies and there's all this sort of stuff. But look, at the end of the day, no one really knows. And I'll wait until the market is completely down and exhausted because then you can check who's actually working on anything. Right now, it could all just be talk. Does the chart look like this? Does the chart look like that? That's better, right? If the chart looks like that, my thoughts are it's going down. Roll ups, universal dev language, any of this other sort of nonsense marketing terms, it's going down. It's going down. Call me bearish, call me whatever you want. I'd just rather look after my capital than get sucked into trying to buy these altcoins while the market is dropping. Is Cartesi yeah, that is Cartesi. CTSI. Thoughts on Cartesi? Man, if your thoughts aren't like my thoughts, I don't know what you're seeing. What glasses are you wearing? Thoughts on Cartesi is going to keep dumping. Anyone who tells you otherwise, no idea. And I say that very firmly. You could maybe think that you're getting a great deal if you pick it up right now and it happens to shoot up to 1,300 or 1,600. Maybe you get super lucky, we get to 19 or 2,000. I think in time it'll probably come back and just keep doing those sort of things. But I see some sort of support. Look, there's a level about there. So just go and spam that. If you've got some influencers, you're going to have fun and they're talking about certain things, buy it up now. The dips, great time to be buying the dip. Just go and tell them to look at a chart. Tell them to look at a chart live and go, what's telling you to buy it there? Nothing's telling me to buy it there. Like I said, you might get a bounce up into some resistance zones and you could feel like you're a king getting yourself 20%. But no one's in crypto for 20% unless you're a trader. Because you want to trade on leverage and you might put on 5x, you get yourself 100% in a short period of time. That's pretty good. But if you're not looking to trade, then just don't be a fool about it. $2,800. Awesome. Like the stream. How many likes do we have on the stream? ICP, probably garbage. AMP, probably garbage. Familiar with HNT? Not really. Probably garbage. Thoughts on Vegemite? Avo? No. Avo only or Vegemite only? Make my strategy. Repeat until bottom is reached. Profit. At what point will I consider buying back in? When I see a low form. And because if I want to be conservative, I will wait to see some confirmation that the low has been put in. So when will I consider buying back in? I don't really see a low at the moment. This is just an hourly chart. I want to see it happen on a major time frame. And I've said, I was talking about it earlier in the stream. We've been going for an hour and 10 now. I said, I'm happy to forego buying the exact bottom. I don't need to buy the exact bottom. And I'll probably be called a fool, an idiot, whatever. It doesn't matter. I just want to take a nice, big, solid chunk out of the middle of the market. And so if that saves me my capital, great. It will fall. It could keep falling. Or we could fall, bounce back, and then we get a confirmation, meaning maybe we go sideways and we start to consolidate and the market becomes stronger. Then we start to break out to new highs. So you have to be following the chart to see if you can break some of the old highs. Then that's a signal for buying. That's my signal for buying. Because we've been going down for 3 months now. And all that I've seen online is for the first 2 months was buy. What happened? Everyone's been losing money on that. But I've been saying I'm not buying because I still don't see a solid low yet. Bitcoin, different story. I don't know if this has been asked already. ICP, probably trash. AMP, probably trash. You clearly said we were not. And your GANs told you so. I've been doing TA since the 80s. Have a great day. All right, Tony. The bottom is unlikely to be 20K because the highest pump on 2018 is also 20. That's how analysis works in the cycle. It won't reach its max and min values. I don't necessarily think that that's correct, but I'm not going to say that it's not, because you do your thing, and I'm glad that other people have got their own thoughts and that's what they want to run with. That's great. In terms of it not being a bear market, what happens if we bounce out in the next 3 months? Because I'm looking at it to go into later quarter 3 or potentially quarter 4 of 2021. So I still think long-term bull. I don't think crypto's dead. I don't think Bitcoin's dead. I don't think any of that. But I think we'll probably get a correction that's stronger than most people were expecting. And I look at it like on 1 week, 2019. So 2019, we had this big move out, and then we went sideways and dump, little pump, dump, and then we started to get a move on before COVID crashed, and then we recovered again. That took some time. That took like a year and a half. Oh, maybe it was just a year, but it wasn't a 3-year bear market. There's the top, there's the low. So that's 38. Where's a year? A year came out at about this zone here. All right. And then by the time we broke out again, it was a year and 20 weeks. So just short of a year and a half. So it started to recover from that point. I can't see why something like that wouldn't happen, where it takes a good year from this massive move that we've just seen. So in terms of a bear or a bull, short-term bear, long-term bull, how long do you give it? And I'm happy to hear other suggestions. Still think GBTC isn't playing some sort of factor here. Not necessarily, like maybe, but how will you know? Do you just say, oh, GBTC release is happening now, therefore it must be that's doing this to the market? I don't think that's not the way that I view the market. I can't replicate that. That's why I want to be able to replicate something so that I bring the power back to me. So when I'm trading, I am confident on what I'm doing. So next time something happens, how do you know that something will have the same strength as GBTC? And if it doesn't have the same strength, but then crashes further than a GBTC event, what are you going to do? Ray. Whew. Down, down, down. I'm just going to put another alert on Ray. One that I was watching. I'm just going to put it underneath the $2 level. And then a little move above. But you can see that this has started to really come down hard. Say like it's come down really hard, nothing bounce, come down again, even less bounce, starting to come down a little further, maybe a capitulation, maybe some sideways, maybe another test of a capitulation, and then we'll get a move out. So we're getting closer towards the end. We're getting closer. What's at 12%? Lit. Crash, 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 crash. And now it's just not breaking new lows. That's a good sign. That's what you want to see. You want to see the market start to hold up and not break down to new lows. Injective, still going, but there's a little support level here. GRT, 50 cents, still breaking down. Engine, still. See, it's starting to get a little bit of a higher low going on. That's good. I'm going to put another alert beneath these low levels in case it does break down. But you can see the lows came in at previous resistance. Maybe this becomes support, but I definitely want to see some volume come back into this market. And it definitely broke its downtrend. The speed of the downtrend. Whoop. Not bad. Not bad. That's a much better sign. You guys are asking when would you start to buy again? I'm not convinced yet, but at least it's a bottom has come in. It reversed. This bottom's higher low. That's a good thing. We break past a downtrend. Good thing. We come back and test a downtrend. Good thing. Do I start to buy now? I feel much more confident buying in a pattern like that than I do on something that's just on free fall. Free fall is a vet. High low, but it just broke down past that low. And it's just a free fall. Free fall. It's slowing down. That's a good sign. There's some previous resistance possibly becoming support at around, where did I draw my line in here? 5 cents. So we're at 5.8, so 6. Am I happy to hold it from this point in case it goes to this support level? And I would lose about 50%. I guess so. This is cryptocurrency. All right, that's how I'm just review what I'm going to buy. Ever consider using the heat map for BTC to enter exit? No, not saying it's bad or not. I just haven't used the heat map. Where do you find it? Are you talking about the volume or is it a different thing? Oh, the other heat map. No, I haven't used it. Can I get it? What's the thing to find it on TradingView? Down. Doge is down. OG. Probably down. Beyond undervalued. Maybe. If it comes out in a bear market, it might do well. I don't know. What is a heat map? Sponsored by Coles. Ooh, that'd be nice. 0. It'll go to 0. If anyone's got the link for the heat map, I don't use it, so therefore it's not something that's regularly that I look for. Patrick, stop spamming. Coles has got better Scotch fillet at the moment, closer to my place. Woolies does not have a good Scotch fillet, rib fillet. Maybe. Are you purposely copying George's facial expression in your videos? Preview them. Somewhat. But I noticed that Meet Kevin does it too. Meet Kevin is pretty on the ball. Maybe George copied Meet Kevin because Meet Kevin is he is the originator of this finance content, isn't he? Holders take the loss and buy back. Quantify crypto equals heat map. On TradingView's name, MCDX Plus. Thanks, Matilda. MCDX Plus. I can't find it like this, can I? No, I'll have to go into one of the, what am I doing? I need to go into this probably. And which one is it? Is it locked? Baz? Locked? I'll just see I'll look at one of these ones and I'll come back and have a look at the chat. Oh, awesome. No, this just confuses me. I have to learn what it's all about. So that's... Get rid of that. What is your investing ratio between crypto stocks? I'm 65, 100% crypto. Stocks, not so interested at the moment. I just think there's more potential in cryptocurrency than there is in stocks. I mean, I don't even need to think. It's just what's on paper. Unless you're doing maybe some tech stocks that you got in cheap. But I'm looking for bigger returns, and I think I'm going to get bigger returns from Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin than I am on some of the tech stocks. So why would I be in stocks? That's my view, of course. That's my thoughts precisely. But not there. Screenshot that. You can use those. What's a scotch? A rib fillet. A rib fillet. They call it scotch for some reason. A rib fillet. The nice bit, it has a nice bit of fat around the top, not the porterhouse or the sirloin or the New York strip, which is the same thing. The rib fillet. I know, I should be putting urgent on them. Definitely. That is nice. I do agree, Rachel. Rum cap is pretty good. I like it on some charcoals. Tomahawk is also fantastic, but you need a barbecue. You can't do that on a fry pan because you got the big bone, and I'm eating like almost every day, so I just throw the rib fillet on. Does amazingly well. Nice and tender. And I can get back to work. Speaking of which, I need to go and surf and then eat because it's 3 p.m. now. What time is it? It's garbage as well. Plug. Body Dynamics training. Gold Coast Gym. Sorry, where'd it go? Hare Krishna. We're speaking about meat. Hare Krishna. I used to eat there a lot. It definitely is. We've turned into talking about steak and food, and not one person's left. That's fantastic. Yeah, I think it's time for a surf. Look at the sun coming back out. I just told everyone to leave and they're gone. Anyway, I do want to get a meetup together. I'm building the website at the moment, so that's taking a bit of time. So, upgrading that, and obviously more videos. I've got interviews coming out with. I did one last night with Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist. So that'll come out on the channel as well. Just looking at, I guess, your best and worst countries for crypto investors, for taxes, and what to do during a bear market. Because if your capital is down, then you're going to be paying sort of less exit tax or less taxes if you have to sell and then move to another place so that you can set yourself up in preparation for another bull market. Potentially. I strongly doubt Hobart. Sydney, I highly doubt. You guys are locked down or way too often. Melbourne, out of the question. Too cold for me. Group chat is with the Investor Accelerator premium membership. Link to that's down below. Currently $7.99 Aussie, so whatever that is in US, like 600 US bucks. Probably less now because the Aussie dollar's gone down. That is going up in a few weeks' time when the new website is launched. So if you want to get on board with the Investor Accelerator, the premium membership, then go and check that out now before the price goes up. And that's like a lifetime renewal price. It's not lifetime one price, but you'll get the cheaper price every time. That has a group chat with everyone in Facebook and a full education plan with it as well, plus everything in TIA in the Investor Accelerator Lite, which is a lot of weekly updates and mini lessons and things like that. Yeah, TIA Lite versus full TIA. The TIA Premium, which is full, has everything included in Lite, and it has the education course and the Facebook group and the monthly videos we do live with everyone in the group. So more mini lessons. And then I did the video, say with we have exclusive interviews, and I did a video yesterday with Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist, and I asked the guys in Premium what questions they had. So I was able to ask him a few of those questions. That stuff is pretty valuable. Looking at like how to structure yourself so that you can reduce your tax legally and still have a fantastic life. No, TI Lite, that's not the 7+ hour education course and more courses being added regularly. That is the updates weekly. So if you want to stay in touch with the market through these periods, understand how I'm seeing the market, and my brother also works on this because he trades Bitcoin full-time. He's been trading for 11 years on futures markets, leverage stuff, then that's the plan there. But as I said, TIA Premium has all of that included as well. Concrete Coast, sure. There is a lot of that around here, mainly in surfers. Most people from out of town come into the Gold Coast, and they usually just stay in Surfers Paradise. That's not where the locals tend to live. Yes. Upgrade price. You go from Lite, which is monthly, and you can go into Premium. Premium is basically, it's just a little more, but you pay annually for Premium. That's why I wanted it, because I want people to commit to the education. If you want to get a taster for the updates and how we do mini lessons, that's a TIA Lite. When you're ready and you want to do TIA Premium, then you can upgrade to that for sure. Just a few years ago, so I'm still getting the hang of it, and today's a good day like that because it's very, very small waves. Very small. So it's good just to have a bit of fun out there. Awesome, guys. Hour 30. What did we see on Bitcoin? Not as much as we were hoping for. Hopefully when I get off the stream, we get what we've been waiting for. Yeah, come on. We've got to get it. We've got to get it after the stream, don't we? So maybe you'll see me again tonight and we do another stream then. 3 p.m. Maybe we'll come back on. I'll get a little sleep and knock out another good live stream. But thanks, guys. Appreciate your support. Stay in touch. Obviously, follow on Twitter, Instagram, newsletter down below. Drop your email address and name. And that's done. You'll get a newsletter once a week. Crypto, stocks, real estate, all the charting stuff, and our thoughts on the markets. All right. I think we've covered everything we wanted to do. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment down below. And thank you once again for joining us. I'll post again on Twitter. Should I go live again today if the market happens to do something else start to get a little bit of a crash going on. So make sure you're following on Twitter. Go and comment over there, do what you need to do, have fun, and I'll see you guys hopefully very soon. Thanks very much. Just watching all your comments come in. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Until next time, have more fun.